All right, it looks like we're live. I still don't like how Zoom puts their logo in that lower right corner. I don't know if there's a way to turn that off. So my next meeting, I got one at 8:15 and at 9 a.m. So I'll probably stream on here till 9 and then just mute at the 8:15. My plan is to start building out a the Salesforce boot camp again. So I had started this probably 4 years ago, writing down all the things that a person needs to learn in order to become an admin, and then starting to walk through exercises to get them up to that level. So I will resurrect that and start to record videos to walk people through it and then make that content available. And then try to come up with a process as I'm doing this to re-record all these videos every time there's a new Salesforce release. So the reason I really haven't been doing this is because I realize that once you make them, once the next version comes out, all your videos are stale, dated. Probably the concepts aren't going to change, but I don't really like that everything would look like it's 2, 3 years old. I would rather if I'm going to have video content up there, that it would always be up to date. And I think the effort to recreate these things every 3, 4 months would be enormous. But I'm gonna I'm gonna give it a shot and actually see how much effort it does take, and then maybe um, document the process to record the videos enough that maybe I could hand that over to maybe an intern or something as an intern project to record these new sessions. Not sure. It's just something I'm thinking about. I'll probably learn a lot in the process. If you have questions about being a Salesforce admin, a consultant, a developer, just put them in the chat and I think I'll see them. You can join this Zoom call live by going to the URL that I have up on the screen. If you'd rather just ask a question over voice, and it's a more real-time communication. The YouTube chat I know has a pretty big delay to it. You can also chat inside the Zoom call too, and I believe I'll see it. Let's see, I just need to check my emails here. Ooh, I got an email for an urgent requirement. Someone's looking for a market. It says Market Cloud admin. I don't know if it's even called, isn't it like sales engagement now? Maybe that's the part outside. Marketing Cloud admin. They need to know SQL, AMP script, and it says PT/FT, part-time/full-time. And they need to know Salesforce admin stuff, the core of it, NPSP, and config full-time. Oh, so it sounds like it's two positions. Yeah, one is for Marketing Cloud, the other is for nonprofit, NPSP. Both say they're remote. And the budget that they say in here is 1.2 lakhs, LAKH. Isn't that like, is that like India money? I don't know why they put the budget of 1.2 lakh. I don't know what that even means. Let's see if I can translate it. Oh, 130,000. Well, it's assuming that that was euros. So, yes, it's Indian numbering system. So maybe it just means 120,000. 120,000 for an admin position is pretty good. I would say starting salaries, well, I mean, it used to be like 4 or 5 years ago, 80,000 was typical salary for an admin with no experience, just maybe the admin cert. So 120, they're probably not looking for a junior person. Let me see what it said in the requirements. Experience is 4 years for both. So yeah, it's not a junior entry level position. I would consider this more of a mid to upper at 4 years. Once you're, yeah, they want total experience 5 years, relevant experience 4 years. 4 years, 120,000. I don't know. I think it's a little on the low side. It depends if that comes with benefits. I don't know what AMP script is. Oh, yeah. See, I don't know Marketing Cloud. Get to know AMP script. So much to know. Well, if you are looking for Marketing Cloud job or nonprofit cloud job, reach out to me and I can get you in contact with these people. Right, let's find my bootcamp stuff. I don't remember what I called it. Gotta be here somewhere. Ramp up. Yeah, ramp up. I wonder if there's a way for me to just share this. And make the folder public. Access. All right, anyone with a link can view it for now. So we go into here. So it looks like I got 9 days deep into it, or 9 learning sessions. So this was intended to be a self-paced learning that I would have people start at any point in a process, and then I would basically be there to help them get unstuck. So it's a work in progress. Yeah. Maybe the first attempt at this. They want to shift careers. Recently found themselves cut from their existing jobs. I'm just trying to help these people. Yeah, this is all still relevant. Common story I meet with businesses is that they're using Salesforce. They can't find people to hire. I still hear this. I also want to help those businesses. I'm trying to help on both sides, specifically in Wisconsin. I'm still primarily focused on Wisconsin. I would love to try to build up more people in my area that to try to make like user group meetings more engaging. We used to do like family picnics. I remember going to a couple of those back in the day. Right now, everything's still remote, so it's getting harder, I think, for new people to join in the community because how much can you really get to know people inside of a Zoom meeting, right? Even right now, it's very difficult. So the businesses, I think, are struggling, and what I'd hate to have is that businesses stop using Salesforce because they can't find people to maintain it. So I guess those are my selfish reasons for wanting to do this. I want to make things more fun, and I want it to last forever. So this is my attempt to try to maintain it. So I'm preparing the daily learning plans, and I'll be able to answer questions that people have. So I think this is still what I had in mind. I had originally planned on a 30-day plan. I only got 9 days into it. put together learning exercises. So I think my plan now is to expand instead of just having these documented lessons to do, but I would also provide videos to walk people through it. Content. Yeah, I think it's going to take a typical person 6 months, if you don't know anything about Salesforce, to have the basics. The 6 months, I think, is just to have the basics so that you could maybe have an entry level position. You probably won't know what to do still. You'll still need a lot of hand holding, but at least you won't be when people say like, oh, you need to create a flow or add a field, you won't be totally lost. The problem is that there's so much to know that it's hard to really retain it all unless you're doing it every day. So you may learn how to create a formula field on day one, but unless you're creating formula fields like every week, you'll probably like 6 months from now, you'd be like, oh yeah, I remember creating a formula field back then, but I don't really remember exactly all the gotchas with it. Yeah, I think a lot of people will probably start a program like this and probably get into it for like the first week or two, maybe even 4 weeks. But I think after a month of it, I think most people are going to get frustrated because it's a lot of work. There's going to be no payback. You're not going to see like you're not going to get a new job after learning this for a month. It's going to take 6 months, and to keep doing something for 6 months when you can't really see the finish line, I think is going to be frustrating for a lot of people. The challenge is that nobody's going to want to hire a person with no experience, no certifications. Um, Even like a small business isn't going to want to risk, even a big business isn't going to want to risk handing the keys over to their Salesforce org to a person that has no experience. I mean, they're usually running their business on it. And imagine hiring a person and then they mess up the org, and though that business is going to struggle to recover from it. It's I wouldn't recommend a business just hire a person with no experience. If you're in Wisconsin, I would be open to hiring a person part-time and using that as a way to help me build out my own org. You probably wouldn't be helping me on client projects, but I have plenty of stuff that I could give a part-time person to do, just to help my own business. And then that would be a way for you then to have experience on a resume. The thing is that I don't want to deal with taxes outside of Wisconsin. And ideally, I wouldn't even want to, I would want it to be somebody that is within an hour of where I live. So I'm in North Prairie, Wisconsin, and I would want to meet with you on a regular basis, like at least once a week in person for like 4 hours, like maybe on a Saturday or Sunday. We would sit at a coffee shop or hotel or something, library, uh, and that way we could collaborate in person. The problem is there's not a lot of people in Wisconsin that want to do this. So yeah, I don't know if even any of these links still work. Looks like this one does.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chairman and Co-CEO, Salesforce, Mark Benioff.
I think I included this video because it's a it's a good intro to what Salesforce conferences are always like and what the pitch is from Salesforce.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This is the typical format. They'll always start with thanking people.
Well, welcome to Dreamforce, everybody. What a great day it is. What a great day. I have never been more excited about this Dreamforce. And I am so excited that all of you are here with me today. This is an amazing community, and it's just been a joy walking around today and being with all of you, all of our trailblazers, our customers, our partners. You know, it's like a family reunion, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. It's like a family reunion.
The trailblazers, customers, users, that is like the key circle to everything. It really makes it feel like a family. Everyone's in it together.
Really appreciate that. So thank you. I'm deeply grateful to all of you. I'm deeply, deeply grateful. And I'll tell you, we have been on the road. We have been on the road now for several weeks. And what we've been doing is we've been testing this. We've been testing this because you all know the key to success is your connection with your customers. And we walk our talk. We're out there and we're talking to all of you. We're listening for your feedback. We want to know what you think about this keynote, getting our messaging right, understanding if we're able to communicate correctly. And it's been an awesome experience. You probably watched it on social media as we meet with all of the incredible people all over the country and the world. And I'll tell you this. Every year, we're kind of like, what are we going to call this Dreamforce? Why is this Dreamforce so special? What makes this day more important than ever? What about it? And we came to it. This is a celebration of all of you. This is a celebration of everything that you have done for us. It's amazing what you have done. This is a celebration of you, our trailblazers, and that is what this keynote is all about. It's a celebration of trailblazers, a celebration of everything that you are doing. It's an incredible moment. And I am here over the next 90 minutes now to inspire you, to excite you, to motivate you, to transform you, to energize you. But first, I need to thank you. I need to thank every single one of you. Thank you for everything that you do for us.
Yeah, it seems like even with like webinars and things like that, Salesforce always starts with like thanking everybody. They're pretty cool.
Every single day.
Let's get through this.
And
You should take some time and watch it.
And I expect you to go to each and every one of them. Incredible, isn't it? 10 million are joining us.
Usually they talk about the growth. Yeah, so here's
our customers have done and how you.
It's after, I don't know, I've seen so many of these keynotes that it almost seems a bit comical because the format always, it seems to be cookie cutter and it's like the same thing. It's very repetitive. Always customer stories. But it helps really get motivated and excited about the platform. I went through a period where I made it a point to watch like one of these videos at the start of every day. And it just helped me get really pumped for the day and get a lot done. Got a few minutes here before I have to jump on a conference call. Let's see. What else did I have on the day one? So it was just watch this video. Get to know the tool. So Trailhead. So yeah, you need to, all the learning is usually done through Trailhead. And you have to create an account and you have to learn how to use their platform. They give you a way to create a developer account. I think they're called playgrounds. I'm not sure. You can spin up little Salesforce environments to complete exercises in, and they will check to see that you did things correctly. Trailhead is used by recruiters and hiring managers to see what type of certifications a person has. I'm already logged in. So I can see my points is every time you take one of the quizzes at the end. If you get them all right on the first attempt, you get more points. And as you try them again and again, the points go down and down. So having a large number of points would be a way to demonstrate that you get the answers correct. I think I should be able to see my certifications in here somewhere. Yeah, right here. So it says I have 8 certifications, but I think one of them's not active. Yeah, this one's retired developer. So it was replaced with, oh, I forgot I had developer too. So you'll be wanting to start out with the Salesforce admin. It's the base exam for everything. I failed this one twice, passed it on the third time. And I'm going to go on mute here and call into this meeting that I have. So I'm looking into the impact that validation rules have when loading data. We have a situation where we're already seeing like CPU limits getting hit. And there are no validation rules. And we need to add validation rules to stop bad data from getting inserted. And wondering how that's going to impact it. Sometimes getting answers on Stack Exchange isn't always the most reliable thing. Usually I start here, but then try to actually dig down into the actual documentation to find the answers. So validation rules, I think, are going to be considered part of the database operations. Or it could be workflow. Not sure. Workflow rules.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you had a great lunch, and I would like to welcome you to.
Let's see.
Especially managed, really not possible around operation timing like garbage collection.
First, you collect, subtract, and then. So what this tells us is that as developers, if you're going to do even 2 field accesses, especially dynamic apex, it makes sense for you to assign it first to a temporary variable. Get the described information for the count. As you can see, it's pretty quick. 1 millisecond first time through, 0.015 milliseconds for all subsequent calls. So doubles, convert to doubles, do your math there, and then
it's no less incremental than for logic in an apex.
Yeah.
As we all know now that with CPU time limits, declarative also counts towards these limits. This is the definition taken from Salesforce. Time spent evaluating formulas for validation rules or workflows are counted towards your limit. If your validation rule or formulas have poor logic, it's no less detrimental than poor logic written in Apex. So what is poor logic in workflow rules? How do you benchmark workflow rules? Well, let's dive in and take a look. So in the example here, I'm setting up a basic workflow rule. It does a few different operations. Specifically, we're just looking on the lead object. Blank, there's rules. Apex. We're limited with what we can test. So for this workflow test, we're going to insert 200 lead records, but we want to make the workflow complex enough so that we have significant data. Remember, Dan talked about a few moments ago where we want to hit, between the middle ground of your CPU limit. If we just have a very, very basic workflow rule here and we're inserting 200 records, we're going to have very low CPU usage, so we're not going to have significant data. Now, just because we're benchmarking workflow rules doesn't mean we don't need code. We need an after insert and after update trigger. This trigger will run and call this block of code here. And notice that the code is very, very basic. We don't want much code when we're benchmarking workflows because we don't want the code interacting with our results. It's pretty straightforward. It's kind of similar to how you would benchmark Apex. We're marking this, and if marking this, and this insert trigger runs, the workflow rule runs, and because the workflow rule processes field updates, the after update trigger is going to run, and because that block of code is start time, an object where there's not other triggers or workflows operating on that object. A lot of different objects or that's wanted to compare it to Apex. In addition, I also wanted to compare the different declarative operations. So I'm going to test workflows, quickly looping through all the leads that are being inserted. And if the fields are blank, then we're setting the fields that we want to change. It's the same exact as the work. Again, we are in the Apex code and the workflow rules results fields.
So they're not talking about validation rules. They're talking about process builders.
Seems pretty straight. The Apex code and the workflow rules perform about the same, between 2 to 3 milliseconds per lead record when you're looping over using the workflow rule or using the Apex code. What was really surprising to us is to see how inefficient the process seemed to be. It was using 8 milliseconds, it's sort of definitely fields. We you just count towards CPU time.
Okay.
So if you're inserting or updating records and you have 10
Each validation rule formula operation takes about 30 microseconds. What I want to send this. Need another browser. I wonder if this timing is very consistent across all orgs. I'll probably still do my own measurements to see if it adds up. Just going to send a screenshot of this slide to the team. Teams will not log in. What's going on?
10 validation rules, each with 10 different functions in the validation rule, that alone is going to eat up 600 milliseconds of CPU time if you're inserting or updating 200 records.
Now, you've seen that Apex can use CPU time, and you've seen that Declarative can use CPU time, but it's nothing compared to the amount of CPU time you can burn up when the two of them cooperate and work together. And here's a simple example that illustrates it. Imagine you have an org with 3 applications, each of which is using 2 seconds in an execution context. All is good, all is happy, no problem. Along comes someone who adds a workflow field update, which causes those 3 applications to re-trigger. It hits A again, another 2 seconds, B, another 2 seconds, and boom, you hit a CPU time limit. C doesn't even have a chance to run. So even a simple declarative change can take a properly running org and bring CPU time limits into play.
That was with workflows, but processes also operate the same way. Poor application A here is only using 0.1 seconds of CPU time, but they're getting the blame for the CPU exception. The interesting thing with processes that we discovered, if you take a look here, we actually hit the 10-second CPU limit when we were in the middle of the process, but no CPU exception was thrown during that process. It was thrown after the process when we were in the Apex code. So that was interesting. Let's try to illustrate a process that takes a really, really, really long time to run. So this process here always runs when leads are inserted. In this example, we're going to insert 400 leads. And all it does is calls an invocable method in Apex that just takes a really, really long time to run. And then it also updates leads. This is the really, really, really long method that runs. Do not do this ever. This is not something you should do. We are serializing a very large array for every single record that comes through. So when this method is called from the process, we're going to have 200 records that come through. Remember, we're inserting 400, but we only process 200 at a time.
Yeah, so he's just demonstrating something slow. So I think that's all I needed to know from this. I'll do timings later on today. Got 15 minutes here before my big meeting. So I imagine for a day one type of thing, walking through, making a video to show somebody how to create a LinkedIn account or a Trailhead account might be difficult. Maybe I can create multiple Trailhead accounts. Yeah, I think I could do that. And then record a video of that. But re-recording a video every 3 months on how to create a Trailhead account. I wonder if I'd run out of unique addresses. I think you need to have a, let's see what it takes. Because my Trailhead account is linked to my Salesforce login. So I can't really redo that. If I log out, and sign up. I wonder if I can use a bogus one, like I do that and say maybe the date. So 12/8/23. And wow. Stetson. I'm not sure what I'm agreeing to. I wonder if I'm agreeing to not create multiple accounts. I I might be breaking the rules here. Hopefully I won't make anyone upset. A code that I got in my email. My name is EJ. Maintenance. Purdue. I am a consultant and I am a partner. So you would select. It's interesting because if you select non-customer prospect, you might get called by a sales rep. So for you, I'd probably select non-customer prospect. I think that's the honest thing to do. I'm a partner though, so I got to do that. Welcome to Jerusalem. So I'll continue. And wow, so now I'm in. So I would continue with the very first things that they're talking about doing here, the intro and this module. Adding a profile picture, though, is a good thing to do. So I will add one. I'll try to add one like this. And I will find a photo. That. And can I fit it? Barely. So now I've got my photo. Complete the Trailhead basic badge. So it's really going to be this one, Trailhead Blazor Community Basics. So first I'll read why Trailhead. It's number one. Yep, everyone has to wear a hoodie. Let's go. So then I can start the basic. So it looks like there's just the one module to here. So I'll go ahead and go to it. I should be able to find my way around Trailhead, start earning badges. So we're going to watch a video.
Trailhead is the front door to the Salesforce ecosystem and makes learning today's most in-demand skills accessible for everyone.
Yeah.
Now that you have an account, you're ready to start your journey. Trailhead is the fun way to learn because it's gamified. As you learn new skills, you're rewarded with points and badges that go towards your Trailblazer rank. Your rank shows where you are on your learning journey. The Today page brings together Trailhead and the Trailblazer community in one place. This is your launch pad and where you can see not only your Trailblazer rank, but also recommended content, in-progress learning, Trailblazer community feed, and more. Now, it's time to explore. Let's start in the Learn tab on the navigation bar, where you find two types of badges, modules and projects, along with collections of badges, trails, and trail mixes. Modules are bite-sized units that guide you through specific topics. Each unit tests your knowledge with a quiz or hands-on challenge. Quizzes are multiple choice or true-false questions that test you on important concepts. Successfully ace the quiz and celebrate by earning a badge. Hands-on challenges let you get hands-on with Salesforce for free. What you have to do depends on the learning topic, and since hands-on challenges are more involved than a quiz, they earn you more points. Next up, projects. Projects help you gain new skills with hands-on practice through the Trailhead Playground, your own developer environment, giving step-by-step instructions as you work. Each unit tests your knowledge with a hands-on challenge. Next, let's check out trails. Trails are guided learning paths made up of modules and projects that help you explore topics, gain relevant skills, and get hands-on with Salesforce products. You can search for topics or filter trails by role, level, and product. And finally, trail mixes. Trail mixes are custom learning paths created by you. Add your favorite trails, modules, projects, and more to your trail mix, then share it with fellow trailblazers. The Credentials tab surfaces resume-worthy credentials, including super badges and certifications.
Super badges are huge. They're like these big projects that you can complete that are very much like real world experience. They just define like what the customer wants, and then you have to figure out how to implement it. And then it actually checks to make sure you did it right.
Super badges enable you to take new skills you've learned and apply them to real-world business problems. Salesforce certifications prove your expertise and hands-on experience with Salesforce products. They help to grow your resume and validate your skills, and you don't have to navigate your learning journey alone. Head over to the Trailblazer community where you can connect with trailblazers from around the world for support and guidance. Just click on the Community tab.
I've never used the community tab to pursue certifications with other people. Maybe I should. Maybe it's a good tip. I'd like to. I think the next cert I'm going to get is the CPQ one. I already have a couple of people in my LinkedIn network that are interested in doing it that I was going to collaborate with, but maybe I should expand it to more like they're suggesting.
Once you're in the Trailblazer community, your feed shows you posts from Trailblazers and topics you're following, plus your activity and the latest questions and answers. Join groups to start conversations and collaborate with Trailblazers on a variety of subjects, while topics foster discussion with Trailblazers about a specific subject. Group meetings empower you to connect with local community groups in person or virtually, and are organized by community members like you. Access your profile by clicking your image in the right-hand corner and enable the Hire Me button on your profile to connect with employers when you're ready for new work opportunities.
Never use that.
And you can showcase all of your learning and connection on your Trailblazer profile, the trusted Salesforce resume. Now that you've seen a quick overview about the power of Trailhead, you're ready to blaze your trail.
Kind of like to take a look at what that hiring section looks like. But I'm going to quickly finish it here, or finish up this module before I go on. So to recap, modules, projects, trails, trail mix, super badge, certs. They left out the community stuff and the hiring stuff. I wonder why. I sometimes I go and pursue these other resources to read more about it. Depends on how much time I have to complete something. But there's a whole you get lost in all the I get lost in all the other info because I'm so interested in going down the rabbit holes. Trailhead Go is pretty cool. So you can do a lot of these trainings just on your phone if you're really into it. You obviously won't be able to do the hands-on experience stuff where you have to log into an org, make the change, and then they check it. But I'd say maybe half of these things are really just question and answers, and you can do them on a phone. So true or false, trails and guided path, learning paths made up of modules. Yeah, that's what they are. What's the benefits of earning a Salesforce certification? To brag to coworkers, of course. To prove your skills and grow your resume, maybe. To become a ranger, no. Certs aren't related to your ranger status. That's just like number of points that you have. To grow your prospect list, I mean, it can kind of does that indirectly. I think what they're looking for is B here. A lot of times, if you don't know the answers, you can just scroll back up to the top. Usually the answers are found within the text of these things and not necessarily in the videos. So like for trails, I would look up here. Trails are guided learning paths made up of modules and projects. So that is clearly true. And then I'm going to check my points. And now I've earned a badge. And my score should be 100. They'll give you recommendations for do next. That can also be a rabbit hole. So let's see, what do I still don't have a score. Maybe if I refresh. Hey, I've got 100 points on one badge. It's kind of neat. So for the day one, I budgeted an hour to watch a video, log into that trail, figure out how to create a Trailhead account, get something, get your profile. Because I didn't really say to put a photo in here, but I should. So send me a link to your profile. So what I started doing was creating a database of people then. So after this one, you'd send me your link to your profile. I'll keep track of that. And then as recruiters are asking me, hey, do you know any admins that are available? I then go into my list and say, and can give them like, here's a list of 5 people that I think are getting up to speed and you could hire them. So that's why I'm asking for the URL. And then I can also use that to look to see, okay, did you actually complete module X, Y, or Z? How many badges do you get to just kind of show progress? I don't know if that's the same logo or not. So I should be able to see my badges now. Maybe that's just an old session. So if I go to my new one, and I don't know, how do I see my badges? I probably have to go to my profile. Yep. Yep. That's the same picture. So the name of the badge, though, I think is different now. So it's called Your Guide to Trailhead. It's weird. It says that, but it's really the Trailhead Basics. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it is the same thing. Maybe I should put a link to it. Oh. Why does it even let me edit? I wonder if everyone can edit it. Because I'm logged in as my DoWow account. Huh. It's a mess. Got 2 minutes here. So I guess I'm gonna wrap it for today. So I guess my plan is to just keep doing this kind of every day. Be my new morning routine. I'll do this, I think, through January and see how it goes. Thanks for watching all, and feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Just search for EJ Bantz. I'm sure you'll find me. And I'll catch you in the next one.